Hey guys, my name is Arav Dad. Today we're going to talk about why competition sucks. Have you ever gone through the day or woken up through the morning and really thought about what you wanted to do? Then you put all your effort, energy into preparing yourself to go through the day and get you what you want. And then you realize that there's so much competition out there that it's going to lead you nowhere. You've even gone out of your way to make sure that you are well skilled in the whole topic of what you are doing by taking courses, doing some online research, and reading up on some articles so that you will have the competitive edge of all the competing factors that are affecting your competition apart. Now, this is only to say that you're in a competing sort of country or a competing environment where people are really pro competition and they want you to compete for everything that you do. Countries like the USA are major competing countries that are always looking for competition for the best possible solution. Now, it's not a really, I haven't really found any sort of research material where a scientist or someone talks about what competition does to a possible product and how it helps the product become the best product that it could possibly be. But I do believe that competition makes something like inventing a product be the best thing that it could possibly be. For example, cars, or let's say a cow. You know, there's competing cows who eat the most grass, and that cow who eats the most grass is like the fattest one who give the most meat, or you could just give it the best milk. The other thing about it is that if you have a nice car and you want to make sure that this car lasts for a long time, and you have another competitor, let's say for example, my car company that produces a car that does pretty well, but then you have someone else who's doing the same thing, a car, and is producing the same thing. Well, his car might be better than mine, and I would be in a sort of conundrum, in a sort of mindset to make something better than what I have already made because he's or she has made something that's so beneficial. Now, let's say a car company actually gets the job done and they're really focused on making sure that the consumer is able to travel properly, and that's it. That's not a problem. The problem is competition really eliminates you in this sort of matter, and it competes with other individuals who are in the same topic, which is also a problem, but is also beneficial because, as we mentioned earlier, competition can make a product a lot better because we saw another person doing the same thing, and you know what he's done? He's made sure that his product is really good, and that way he can make sure that it gets better and better by making sure that he sees another example that he can reference to in the end. Either way, if you're competing or not, or if you're just working to do something on your own, you are achieving goals. Even if it's something that's new and you want to achieve, you will achieve it because that's what you want to do. And it's energy that's behind this sort of achievement and goal aspiration that you can acquire by making sure that you are able to achieve a simple and complete production of a idea that you have. Now, for you to achieve anything, you need a lot of energy. And energy is this thing that just has to do with presence. If your presence is really strong and you have a good foundation of what you want to do, let's say you really thought about something before doing it, then your presence will be stronger and your energy will be enough for you to achieve it. If you don't have enough energy and you have combatants or enemies in what you want to achieve or what you want to do in your energy, you're not going to be able to achieve what you want. Now, the other thing about having ideas and trying to solve a problem is that you have to notice the energy. And if there's no energy within it, you won't be able to notice it. And the thing about energy is it resonates. You are in resonation, or you are resonating with similar amounts of energy or frequencies that really do play into your acquisition of energies or ideas in this matter. Now, you want to be able to solve these problems and really take into account of what you want to do. But when it comes to new ideas, you have no idea where that idea will take you. And if you do, then you probably have not taken action on it, and you slumped into a sort of dilemma where you're hoping someone else will take that energy and solve it for you. Now, this is the kind of world we live in the 2023 with democracy and having Republicans as the other thing, the other party of other energy, and there's also communism, which is also pretty good.
Competition is this sort of energy where if you don't take the idea that you had regarding a specific category and take it to a well-developed phase, then you'll be left out. What that basically means is that if you don't really take into account of the competing factors, then you're gonna miss out on everything that you possibly thought of, and someone else will take account of it. In the USA, it's called intellectual property, and it's free game. Anyone can take an opportunity that they find and take action on it. Whether that's a great idea or just simple amounts of energy, they can acquire it, furnish it into a work of art or a piece of literature or a product or an invention, and then they'll say that it is theirs by submitting it to the trademark division of the government, and they'll say that they can qualify as a candidate to profit from it.
Perfect example of a great idea is someone who's really wealthy looking to make more money, and what they do is they acquire new skills and then they go into the background of the skills. For example, learning a new language is a skill that you can learn to create more money. That way you can tap into more energy and more people and connect with them so that your ideas and your expansion of money grows continuously. The other thing with the USA is that we all know that there's sort of a stigma toward who can be the most successful and who can have the most amount of money for influence. Now we find a lot of new uprising of young people and involving themselves in quite a few culturally they're involving themselves in cultural diffusion so that they can expand their money and be more involved in the global market. Now, you might have seen a lot of yoga studios out there, and now these are all business women, perfect examples of what intellectual property in America is. Now, if you go on ahead and you have an idea that you want to take, which is primarily European, and you take a business step forward and you try to monopolize it or monetize it, you might see quite a bit of negative backing because they don't want to see someone like that to have success with ideas that they could themselves profit off of. Now, what this has to do with energy is a sort of idea called voting. Back in the times where the Roman Empire used to rule Europe and portions of the Middle East, we would see the Greeks going together and creating democracy, voting together and banding their energy so that they can acquire a simple and common goal. Now, in voting, I can vote against a party so that my interests are better suited. We can see this a lot in today's demographics and today's politics where people are voting for what their causes are, and in Congress where you see a lot of Republicans and Congress parties and Democrats working together with each other to vote for a cause that they either veto or they agree on. And because the vastness of the English language, an idea can be conceptualized and materialized in your brain and through your actions only if you have enough energy to support the entire process. What that means is if I feel that you are sort of in a position where that's conflicting with my interest, because my interest is to be the one who is the supporting or the ruling power of a beneficiary idea or concept, I will make sure that you will have no sort of ground in stabilizing yourself in an idea that you will manifest for success in the modern world. Another contributing factor to materialization of ideas is persistence. If you're not persistent and following up with your own ideas, you won't be able to achieve it. Instead, you'll forget it. Just like studying a simple concept on math and on paper and pen, you will be able to conceptualize and materialize your ideas only if you're consistent at trying to achieve your goals. Now, if you're having trouble still materializing, conceptualizing your goals, you need backing and money. Backing is a group of people that agree with you and will support you throughout your journey. And with money, you can have the necessary materials and tools to achieve your goals. Now, there are a bunch of people on the English language, which is a worldwide language now, who make sure competition is very stiff and sturdy so that you do not achieve greatness. They all believe that they're a part of the conclusion of success, but in reality, if you're unable to materialize your ideas, you have a lot of competition that you need to eliminate.
When you're young, you don't have time to materialize ideas because you're so busy catching up with the rest of the world and what a standard of education is. In parts of the world, the standard of education is a lot smaller and a lot more less informed than what is particularly more considered a higher education. Subscribe and I'll get back to you. Make sure that you keep it real and continue to do what you want to achieve your goals. Peace out.